The whole civilization will die tonight. That is Wigzarus's headline for his Truth Social post that he made this morning, is what a war crime looks like. And I quote, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want it to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionary, wonderful can happen. Who knows? We'll find out tonight." The man in power, you unalived his father, also said, "God bless the great people of Iran." Seriously, somebody needs to stop this man before we get into a place we can't come back from. Turn his ass over to The Hague. Somebody, because at this point, he is openly saying he's about to commit a war crime. Unaliving a whole civilization because you thought that you was the big bad wolf? You thought you could be a bully? And now you realize the people that you're bullying, maybe they have more resolve than you. They have more faith than you. They've been on this earth longer than you. This civilization has been here since the beginning of time. And you think you can make them move? Somebody either better get his phone, call for the 25th Amendment, call for Article 2, Section 4, or do the thing we've all been asking for the last, I don't know, year and some change.
Trump just posted that a whole civilization will die tonight. On Truth Social, he posted this today, April 7th. So let me explain exactly what's happening. Okay, so we all know that Trump stated that his whole goal was regime change in Iran. They wanted to dismantle Iran's capabilities to protect power and prevent Iran from creating a nuclear weapon, okay? That was the cause we've been given. Even though the IAEA said there was no evidence of a structural program to produce a nuclear weapon, we went anyway. Okay, we know that. So what did we do, United States? Well, on day one, we assassinated their leader and his family, several top officials, and hundreds of civilians. And we created the Iranian John Wick. Since then, Trump has continued to move his deadline, like time after time after time. He keeps saying, by this day, no, by this day. Okay, by this day, y'all got 24 hours, y'all got 10 days, you got a week. Tonight. So tonight's deadline, right, by 8 p.m., this is being called the final deadline. And just so that we understood just how serious this man was, he decided to post it on Easter Sunday, talking about some Tuesday will be Bridge Day and Power Plant Day for Iran. The UN called that a direct incitement to commit war crimes. And Iran's UN mission called it clear evidence of intent to commit war crimes. The White House said, we're not worried about it. It's fine. It's fine. And then today he posted this. "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, some of the smartest and most radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful will happen. Who knows? Who can really tell? But we will find out tonight in one of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. He's telling 90 million people that their civilization is going to end tonight. And then saying God bless them in the same motherfucking breath? That's not a president talking about government or talking about mission. That is a man talking about people. Killing millions of people, ending millions of people, their existence on this planet. So Iran's response, right, to what Trump said today is that they would act against American infrastructure and its allies in a way that will deprive Americans and its allies of regional gas and oil for years. And they have warned that all restraint has been removed. So yeah, a man with nuclear codes just threatened an entire civilization of 90 million people. No congressional approval, no international coalition, no accountability, and the deadline is tonight. Y'all, this a hot ass.
I'm here to give you the updates surrounding the war with the United States. It's not real versus Iran. Let's get it. We are currently at the place in the timeline where every sane United States citizen is collectively asking the same question. Who Trump feeling like? No, really, who is Trump feeling like? And let me quickly remind you all of what this man, the United States president, stated on April 5th, as today is April 7th, okay? Only 2 days ago, the United States decides to extend the deadline of the ultimatum that he issued against Iran. Mind you, Iran officially rejected their ceasefire plan, so there's really nothing to extend. However, the president has extended the deadline to today, April 7th, 8 p.m. in what Trump states is the third and final deadline. He suggests that this is the final deadline, but we shall see, as we know that this man is a proven liar. He's a liar, so we gonna wait and see. So now the deadline for Iran to accept the ceasefire plan is extended, even though Iran had already officially rejected the ceasefire plan. So now the world waits to see if Trump is actually going to obliterate the entire civilization of the Iranian nation after 8 p.m. today. But see, with the restructuring of the military, the United States military, you understand, firing of 12 senior officials and over 30 generals rejecting, defying Trump's orders, how you going to get it done? The threats to obliterate and destroy the entire civilization of Iran. How are you going to get it done if you have no loyal military? How are you going to get it done? No military backing equals no retaliation. No following through of any threat of any kind. Not to mention, to follow through with the action of actually destroying the entire civilization of a nation is a war crime. It is a war crime. And if Trump actually figures out a way to fulfill that, considering you understand our military is not really working with him, understand that the judgment day that the United States will face, oh baby, is going to be a movie.
Well, let me talk about something that is now trying to threaten entire America, or because I bet we all know how much closer the world is watching America. Trump just sent a message to Iran, and it wasn't soft, of course. Trump is never soft to anybody. It wasn't diplomatic. It just sounded like a line being drawn, a warning that could shift global tension overnight. All right, but there is a real question: when powerful leaders speak like this, who will really pay the price? So he's putting Americans in danger, in trouble, and I think that Americans are now going to be in a big mess. I have clips here. Watch them. I will come back.
I need y'all to listen up. This is a very serious and a very real situation. Things are going to change in this next 24 hours for better or for worse. I'm telling you right now, it's not looking good for either parties. If Trump does let his ego get into way because he's been totally embarrassed as a president of the United States of America, as a leader, let me tell you something. If he does whatever and wipe out an entire civilization, no American will be safe. No American will be safe anywhere. They will become a target. Fear of retaliation, both inside and outside of a country. Please understand that people already hate Americans for not dealing with the issue at hand. The blood is not going to just be on the hands of Donald J. Trump. It's going to be the hands of the American people, because the American people had the chance to stop it and they did it. Let me tell you exactly what's happened. You guys continuing to go to work. You guys continuing to fund the system. You guys continuing to not stand up, do protests, stay at home, shut down the economy. You guys not doing that has allowed them to rack up enough money so they can carry out this strike that is going to kill so many Iranians. If what the president is saying is true, you are telling me Iran doesn't have any allies? Do you think that majority of China's oil comes from Iran? If the U.S. wipes out 20% of the world's oil, every country is going to feel it. That's one. America will feel it the most. That's two. Three, Trump is on some, if I'm asked out, everybody's asked out. And guess what? That's going to fuck us over the most. Four, you really think that if Iran loses that oil, China's economy will take a big hit? They're not going for that. China is all about world peace, and they already don't like the U.S. because of Trump. So let me tell you exactly what's going to happen. Every single country is going to band together, and the United States and Israel will be considered war crime countries. We're going to lose businesses. We're going to lose partnerships. Nobody's going to want to work with us. Nobody's going to want to do deals with us. You can't force and fear anything any longer. Congratulations. We're now at the part of this economy that if this shit crashes down and falls, nobody will save us, because the entire world is watching Americans and the American people and the President of the United States of America as they're getting ready to wipe out an entire civilization. That's all.
I watched Donald Trump's press conference today, so you don't have to. And don't worry, I won't include clips of him in today's video, because I know none of you want to see him. One of the most profound moments of discovery I've had this year is realizing that the UN is useless. The ICC is useless. international law is useless. I went to school for political science and international affairs. I actually interned at the United Nations in Geneva for one summer. I worked at NATO. So I've been in that international system when I was in school, when I was in college, and I had high hopes all my life. I'm a very altruistic person, well, I used to be, about how international law actually meant that the people, the civilized nations of the world, would adhere and abide by the laws they put in place after the last great wars to ensure that things like what are happening in Iran wouldn't happen. But here we are. Our president is a senile megalomaniac that is being propped up by people and yes men in his corner and allowing him to do insane shit. He did a press conference today, and it was one of the most insane things, even more insane than his last press conference, and even more insane than his out-of-pocket insane Truth Social post. The United States and Israel have confirmed bombed one of Iran's biggest universities, akin to MIT in America, producing some of the greatest scientists and minds coming out of the region. They have bombed it. Why are you bombing civilian buildings? Why are you bombing a university? Then Trump said he tried to arm anti-Iranian protesters, but then the guns never got to them and they went to the Kurds instead, and they're gonna pay big. Who the fuck are you giving guns to? Who are the people? Who are the mysterious people? The president of the United States said in a press conference that he tried to arm people in a foreign country that we're at war with, but the guns didn't get there. Why are we talking about war strategy and your failures so willy-nilly in press conferences? I think the craziest part about this whole thing is that he started this press conference by saying Iranians want America and Israel to continue bombing them. He said that the bombs are even falling next to their homes and they want us to bomb them for freedom. No one wants to be bombed in their home. If I saw bombs coming down to the city where I'm at, I would not say, hey, I want to keep getting bombed so you can free me. Who are the terrorists here? Who are you fighting? Who are you fighting? Because you have to ask yourself, as an American, I have to sit and ask myself, America are the terrorists in this scenario? Because you want the Strait of Hormuz to be open. The Strait of Hormuz was open until the United States of America and Israel decided to attack Iran, right? So then now you're saying you're going to attack their nuclear facilities and you're already bombing their petrochemical facilities. And if you do that to an extent, you will poison the water, the air, the terrain, and the people in that region indefinitely. It's a city of 11 million people you're bombing, and you're talking about bombing and causing a nuclear fallout. You want to have a Chernobyl inflicted by you? It makes my head hurt, guys, and I just don't understand who will hold this man accountable. And to round this out, he said that when he's done with Iran, he can go be president of Venezuela because he's not running for president, but somehow he's polling well in Venezuela, and the Venezuelans love him. So he could be president. You have a president who's lying about the war. You have a president who I think is senile, who doesn't even know what's happening, is threatening to attack nuclear facilities, is bombing schools, has already bombed and killed hundreds of children, and now he's saying he's going to go run Venezuela. I don't even know how to make sense of what's happening.
Now, when they begin to disrupt Hormuz, everything will change. All right, fuel price will rise, market will be now unaffordable, unreachable, and this third thing will spread so fast. So when warning is issued at this level, it ain't just a word or just somebody speaking. It's a pressure on the entire world. Okay, now a strong language doesn't always mean immediate war. Sometimes it's a strategy or a plan. So push hard enough and force those other side to respond. And that is what we are seeing today in America. That's what Trump is trying to do. Instead of instant conflict, there is somehow somebody has to think about it twice. So it talks about the beginning of tension. It also brings some clear information about what America really wants from Iran, because when you bring nations this close to the edge, even a small mistake can have a massive consequences or a massive trouble. So when global tension rises, leaders make decisions, but every day people feel like that is an issue that will cost us as a country. All right. So this whole thing will lead us to higher cost of living, economic pressure, and certain about the future that will bring we won't be working in line with the other countries. So this is not new to people. So moment of global conflict have always had a local consequences. And while the headlines focus on power and politics, families are now dealing with reality, trying to survive decisions they didn't make. This ain't about first time. America has stood at the edge like this. From the past conflicts to present tension, there is a pattern that's being followed in America. Pressure goes out, but consequences comes back to the Americans who are living in America. Decisions made at the top of don't destroy people who are in power. They destroy a normal person who are living in the America. So when that pressure lands, it doesn't just land equally. So the question is, are these moves creating stability or setting another cycle of struggle? Because if we don't learn from the past, we just risk repeating it every time, because history will repeat itself. We have to believe it. It's guaranteed. So this moment is bigger than politics. It's about choices that leaders make, and consequences that people will be able to face, because when the world is the most powerful voices speak like a threat to another country, then who is suffering in that country? So as tension rises, one thing remains clear: what happens next won't just shape the global headlines, it will shape real people future. All right, God bless you. I'm out.